Today, we are building a real agentic workflow using Claude Code. Claude Code has recently become far more powerful than before because it can reason better, structure logic, handle workflows, and assist with real automation architecture. Now, most people learning n8n to automate their workflows, which they are doing correct, but 90% of them don't know how to use n8n. They don't understand dynamic linking, they are confused, and honestly, n8n feels overwhelming for beginners. But here's the interesting part. You don't need to understand all of that to build a powerful automation anymore. So in this video, we are going to build entire automation that goes to Reddit, analyze posts one by one and scores them, and then generate actionable content ideas automatically using Claude Code. Not only that, I'm going to give you the exact formula I personally use so you can build any automation you want or even entire application using Claude Code the same way. But before we touch a single node or tool, there is one critical mistake that almost everyone makes when using Claude Code for automations. And if you don't fix that, your automation will always break. Most people fail at Claude automation because they are asking Claude to do incompatible jobs at the same time. Here's the problem. When you ask Claude to analyze the data and update the sheet, you are asking it both think and execute. Thinking is probabilistic, and Claude waves at possibilities and makes creative decisions. So execution needs to be deterministic. The same input must produce the same output every time. When you mix these two lines together, error will compound and randomness breaks your automation. So here's the architecture to fix that. We will split Claude's job into three separate layers. The first layer is directives. So what I mean by that is these are like SOPs written in the markdown that lives in your directive folder that define what needs to happen, the goal, input, which tool or script to use, and outputs and edge cases. It's like natural language instruction, like you would give to your mid-level employee. Now, second layer is orchestration. This is Claude layer, and Claude doesn't do the actual work. Claude reads directives and makes routing decision, calls execution tools in the right order, and handle errors. For example, Claude doesn't scrap a website itself. It reads directives and figure out the input and output and runs the execution file. Then we have third layer is execution, which is like a deterministic Python script in execution that handle API calls, data processing, and file operation, all the real work. These scripts are reliable and testable and produce consistent results. So why this eliminate randomness? If Claude does everything itself, error compounds. And if you see 90% accuracy per step means only 59% success over 5 steps. The solution is to push complexity into deterministic code. So Claude only focus on decision making. Now let me show you how to set this up from scratch. So first of all, you have to open your VS Code. Now I need to create a project folder. So I will open my file manager. I'm creating a new folder. So I will call it Reddit automation. This is where all our file will live. Now I'm going back to VS Code and I will click on the file in the top menu. Then you have to open folder which we have just created. Mine one is Reddit automation. Now VS Code opens the folder. Now I have access to this project directory where all our automation files will be stored. Next is I need to enable the Claude Code extension. On the left side, I'm clicking on the extension icon. It looks like 4 square. In the search bar, I'm typing Claude Code. Here it is, a Claude Code by Anthropic. So I have already enabled it, so I don't need to install it again. But if you are doing for the first time, you have to click on the install. After installing this extension, now I'm going back in my IDE and I will click on this top right corner of the VS Code. You will see Claude Code icon in the top right corner. When you click on it, the Claude Code chat opens on the right side. This is where we will paste our prompts and communicate with the Claude Code to build our automation. Now we have the workspace setup, but we still need to create the guide, the system instruction that tells Claude Code how to behave. So what I will do is I will press Ctrl N to make a new file. A blank file opens in front of you. Now I am pasting the system instructions, the 3-layer architecture which I have explained earlier. You can get this from description as well. So you have to just copy and paste it over here. So this file tells Claude to operate in 3 layers. So the first is directive, which define what to do, and the second one is orchestration, which is basically decide how to route, work, and execute. And the third one is execution. I will just save this and I will press Ctrl S and name it, for example, Claude.md. The file is now Claude's permanent guide. It defines how Claude thinks and operates for every automation. Now I need to load this guide into Claude Code. So I'm clicking on the Claude Code chat on the right and I will type use this instruction defined in Claude.md as your system behavior. Do not override them and and confirm when loaded. So I will just send, and Claude Code is reading the file and it confirms the system is active. Claude Code knows it sides between intent and deterministic execution. It reads the instruction, make decision, call tools, and continuously improve the system. Now we have the workspace. The extension is enabled and the guide loaded. Now next step is to give Claude Code the actual automation to build, and that's where the prompt structure comes in. Now I have already prepared the full automation prompt. So I will copy it now and paste it into Claude Code chat box. So I will hit enter and Claude Code is starting to build our project. While it's generating, let me show you how to structure a prompt properly, because this is where most people fail. And the biggest mistake is typing something like build me automation that finds Reddit posts and turns into Twitter threads. That's vague. Cloud has to guess what you mean, and every guess introduces randomness. Instead of, you break the automation into clear section, just like I did in the prompt. So first is you have to define the goal. As you can see in my prompt, I have defined the goal. Build a daily system that defines high signal ideas from Reddit and AI news, convert them into Twitter and thread outlines, and delivers them via email. As you can see clear goal of the automation. And the second is the data source. I have listed exactly where the data comes from, like Reddit RSS feed and subreddit names. And also I have added some news RSS feed as well. No vague instruction and exact source. Now, while Claude Code is generating the project, it's asking me to add a API key for the large language model. This is necessary because the automation needs to call an AI model to score, post, and generate thread outline. Here's how to get it for free. Open a new tab and search for Google AI Studio and click on the first result. It's Google's official platform. Once you are in the home page, scroll down to the bottom. You will see a button that says Get API Key, and then you have to click on it. Now you have to click on this Create API Key by importing your Google Cloud project. So after generating your API key, you have to copy that and you have to go back to Cloud AI and paste that API key into the chat. Now Claude Code will store this API key in their NV file and start automatically and continue building the project. Now let's move back our prompt. Now third is the workflow step. You have to define what are the steps of your workflow. For example, I have defined clearly the steps of my workflow. First step is to collect the 100 recent posts from RSS feed daily and save title, link, time spam and everything. And then I have clearly mentioned you have to remove, duplicate and filter anything older than 3 days. It means you have to clean your data. So I have added that too. The third one is score. Rate each post 0 to 100 based on how useful it's for creator. So educational value will get 30 points and action will get 25 points and novelty will get 20 points. It's basic. Now you have to define a pick winner. So as you can see, I have already defined what I wanted in my workflow. So you have to define that too. So that's everything you need in a proper prompt, like data source, workflow steps, tools, and output format. Before you open your VS Code, you have to spend time with your prompt. You have to write your prompt and break it into section. Make it detailed, make it specific. This is where the work happens, not in the code, but the planning. Once your prompt is structured correctly, the automation build itself. Now I'm looking back at Cloud and it's been working for about 40 minutes and the project is completed. Let's see what it built. On the left side, you can see all the file it created, the directive folder and the execution script, as well as the main orchestrator. On the right side, you can see the full conversation history with the Claude Code, every decision it made and every script it built. Now here's something important. Claude Code runs on the credits. You get about 40 to 60 minutes of the active use before credits run out. When that happens, Claude will give you the full summary of the conversation. I had to copy that, and if this case comes in your project building, you can do that. So this was just for information. You have to just copy and paste it somewhere else where until the Claude credits renew. So when you paste that, it will start conversation where it left. So that's a big advantage. Now let's run the automation. Now Claude told me to run 2 commands in the terminal to start our system. So I will open my terminal now and I will paste this command first. So what it will do is it will basically takes us in our project folder where all our files are saved. Now then I will run a second command which basically launch the orchestrator file. And here's the UI. Earlier version just showed me a raw terminal output which isn't beginner friendly. So I told Claude Code to add a basic terminal UI so anyone can understand what's happening. Now you could take this further, build a full website interface if you want it. Claude Code can handle handle that too. So we have 4 options here. First one is run full pipeline. The second one is run pipeline, skip email. And the third one is test individual components. So I will choose for the demo, I'm going to choose the option 1, and then I will just run the full pipeline. Now the automation is starting. As you can see, first we have this RSS feed, which is basically collecting RSS feed collection. And then you watch the terminal. It's going through the each subreddit one by one, like entrepreneur, startup, side project. It's collect post from every source we define in the directive. That's why detailed prompt matters. We specified exactly what subreddits we want. So that's the advantage. Then as you can see, it is cleaning and filtering our project. And the next step is to AI evolution and scoring. Right now, it is assigning each post a signal score based on educational value and actionability and novelty and the threat potential. This is where the intelligence happens. And then we have next step, which is classification and clustering. So as you can see, and now it is generating the summary and it creates a thread outline for the top scoring post. And we hit an error. Look at the error. As you can see, it's saying execute 429 quota executed. This is a rate limit error from the Gemini API. We are making too many requests too fast. That's why we get the error. Now watch what will happen next. So I will take this screenshot error and I will go back to my Claude Code and I will paste this in screenshot and type I don't know what the error is and explain it to me and fix it. So if you are a beginner who don't know anything about the code and don't know how to fix the error, you can use this method. Now Claude Code is reading the error and it will explain. As you can see, I was right. It's saying this is a temporary rate limit from the Google Gemini API and you are making too many requests too quickly. Now it's making changes to the script and it's adding a rate limit in a logic. As you can see, it is added 2-second delay between batches and so on and so forth. And also it's updating the 3 script as well. The changes are done and Claude Code just self-annihilated and it fixed the error automatically. Now let's check the result. First, I'm checking my email to see if the daily intelligence report is arrived in my email or not. And we don't get the email. The error says we need to set up an app password for Gmail and 2-step verification. So it's asking me to 16-character password. So I will not going to do this because it is a separate topic how to proceed, but I will not go into that. But if you want, you get the steps. You can follow these and you can set a password for your Gmail. Now, instead of waiting for the email, I'm going to open in my folder. So for that, what I will do, I will just open my file where all our file is saved. And then I will open this temp file. And in the temp file, you can see there is a email output.html. You have to just double click on it. And as you can see, it's open. And here's the result. Look at this. It's formatted like a landing page and clean. And also it looks professional. Now in the top, we have section 1, which is like a top insight of the day and top 10 posts ranked by signal score. And as you can see, look at this detailing. And then we have section 2, which is Twitter thread outline. So in this section, we have some Twitter threads available. That's a good. As you can see, it has written the hook as well. We replace half of our support team with the AI. That's a good hook. Section 3, which is trending cluster. So as you can see, we have AI agent. So people are discussed on this topic in the subreddit and forums. So on the AI agent topic, we have 74 items and into startup growth, we have 30 items. That's good. Now, then we have section 4, which is quick hits, one linear insight that could be stand alone to it as well. Now, then we have section 5, which is basically source link, every original URL for the fact checking. If you want, you can check from this section 5. Yeah. So I'm going back to the terminal and the pipeline is completed successfully. Look at this. It logged what it fixed and added 2-second delay between batches. So that's good. So that's it. This is how you can build your automation. Now, the conclusion. At the start of this video, cloud automation felt unpredictable. Sometimes they worked and sometimes they don't. Now you know why. Cloud cannot think and execute at the same time, and the fix was in the architecture. So we fixed using this 3-layer architecture, which makes separate decision making from execution. So you just watched a system collected 1200 posts at a time and score them and write a Twitter thread and also deliver intelligence. It's fully automated. And also when we get the error, it fixes itself. And that's the difference between script and system. Script basically breaks and system learns. So that's it. The full prompt and templates and project structure are in the description. You can download them and you can build your own project. So subscribe if you like this information, and yeah, thanks for watching.